Thanks for the support as a channel member, Liam Campbell. Injuries have forced me back into the 4-3-3 that we've used for the last several years. Believe it or not, we've won like 15 consecutive games now. Don't fiddle with tactics, Kev. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 17 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we've got a Champions League knockout game, leg one thing, away against Manchester City. We're then going to skip a match and go straight into the Copa Del Rey semi-final away against Real Madrid. Since you were last with me, as mentioned, lots of big results have happened. Most notably, I guess, is the 5-1 victory over Real Madrid at their place in the league, which went a long way towards cementing our spot at the top of the league and also demonstrating just how good Camavinga is. I know there's been a lot of hate down in the comments towards Camavinga because Vermonti should be in ahead of him, and I agree. They rotate. Camavinga played in this one and was absolutely fantastic. But as you can see, we had Correa up front. Leonard nowhere to be seen. Mbappe's been sold. Leonard hasn't been sold, but he picked up an injury as soon as Mbappe left, as did Renan Vitor. And there was a spell where Correa was the only senior striker at the club, and he has absolutely taken his chance, scoring lots and lots and lots of goals. And we also beat Real Madrid in the first leg of the semi-final of the Cup, but it was only a 2-1 home victory. Vitor is now fit again, as you can see from there. So it's all to play for as we go into the second leg of that, because we quite like to win that this year. We missed out on that last year. And we're getting into the Champions League first leg of the first knockout round as well. The league table, as it stands right now, looks like this. 26 games played. We are 5 points clear of Villarreal, who are another team that we beat on this run. A 1-0 win over them. As you can see, Vermonti played in this one. Proof they do rotate for the big games. But once again, not only is Correa the only striker we had at the club, we were struggling for wingers as well. Navio and Gila playing out as our two wingers, and they were both very, very, very good in this game. So they've both found other ways to contribute to the team, mainly because we've got rid of half of our wingers. Mbappe obviously played there a lot last year. He's gone. He was closely followed out the door by Sid, who's gone to PSG on loan for the season. They're paying his £275,000 a week wages. Calidio, who was brought in to be the long-term replacement for Mbappe, he's gone out on loan to Tottenham because at this point, as far as I was concerned, we were playing the diamond for life. So let's get him out on loan somewhere to get some games in. He's gone out on loan, hasn't got any games in, but they're paying all of his wages as well. And then there's a couple of other players who've gone out on loans also, all of which means we are still over our wage budget. But last time I checked, there was a time where we weren't struggling. I know what's happened there. We got to the point where we weren't struggling, and then Navio, who was only on about 18 grand a week, came to me and said, I'm one of your key players now, Kev. Can I have a pay rise? So he's got one, and it's pushed us back over the thing again. So, much changing. Why have I gone back to the diamond for this game? Past Kev, you must have a reason why you've gone back to the diamond for this. Have we just got no wingers available now? Posibon is injured, Brackbian's injured, Calidio's not here. It really is a case of we've now got strikers back. Leonard's fit again, Vitor's fit again, and we're now out of wingers. So we're basically being forced into tactics based on who's fit, which probably isn't the best way to do things. There must be a screen somewhere in this game that tells me what tactics we've played in what games recently. There's an analysis one. Here we go. This is what I want to see. I never really touched any of this stuff, but I want to know. I want to know what tactics we've been using. I guess I could have put it on the schedule. It's so unlike me to click this button. I've clicked on it and it's almost broken everything. The game cannot cope with loading this screen for me because it's so unlikely. No, what I want to see, what I'll do is I'll add it on here. Let's custom. How do we customize current view? I haven't done this for a long time either. I want to add formation. And then just check that I've not gone mad. I've recorded the intro for this video now. So let's just stick formation in there so we can just see for a second. So, recent games, we have played mostly the 4-3-3 up until It was that point that we switched from the diamond. Presumably that's when Leonard got injured. Yeah, there's Leonard. I imagine Leonard got injured in this match. Yeah, there you go. Leonard goes off injured. And as a result, we switch to the 4-3-3. And it's a 4-3-3 where we've beaten Real Madrid and Villarreal and Real Madrid. And now Leonard's fit again. And past Kev has made the bold choice of switching back to the diamond. And I don't know how I feel about it. This last game, who played? So we had Navilo and Gila as the wingers again with Correa up front. Past Kev must have his reasons. We're going to go with them. If it doesn't work, we can blame him. No responsibility on me. I don't mind it. So, Bajic in goal. A back four of Milaniemi, Paredes, Banfalvi and Berisic. Vermonti at the base of the midfield. Gila and Hendricks ahead of him. Navilo then behind. Correa and Leonard up front. We need to keep an eye on Leonard. He can't play a full match, but Renan Vitor is fit to sit on the bench, although he's another one who is returning from injury. This is a very big call. I still don't know how I feel about this decision that has been made to go to the diamond. What I should have done, because it's a couple of days. I have weekends now. The previous episode was recorded on Friday. I need to start recording audio notes to myself so that I can play them into the video with the explanation for why I've made the decisions that I've made. I fully expect you to keep our run going today. We are away from home, and away goal is crucial, which could have been part of the thought process, because Gila and Navilo, they're not natural in those wide areas. At least playing this system, everybody's playing in their best position, which is possibly part of that thought process. I would have said there's an argument for playing Camavinga, who arrived from Manchester City. He had been there a long time. They've got Fotheringham at the back for him. Wowzers. I'm suddenly less worried about them. We should have got the tackle in there. Who is that? Is that Hendricks? I can't remember who I'm playing in midfield. Hendricks or Van der Veen in there? I feel like it should be Van der Veen if he's fit. But again, let's not question past Kev. I don't know my squad numbers either. City, that's a ball that's gone over the top of Berisic, and it really shouldn't have done. And that's a fantastic save from Bajic, who has just won runner-up in World Goalkeeper of the Year behind Ferron, who he had at Bayern Munich. The Manchester United goalkeeper I've been coveting for so long, finished third. So I think it does illustrate goalkeepers aren't going to be above 3 stars because of how much average rating has an impact on those star ratings these days. It's not as simple as it being just about ability. I think we probably have got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Ferron is also one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Incidentally, came through the Barcelona youth system, never really got a game before going to Bayern as a youngster. But they're probably the 2 best keepers in the world, and they've been our last 2 goalkeepers. So I can grudgingly accept we're not going to have a 5-star goalkeeper. Paredes with a header that goes just over. That was a big opportunity. We are very, very dangerous from those set pieces, and Paredes in particular, because he's so tall and so good in the air. But we just miss out on that one, and it's 0-0 at half time. I could live with 0-0. I'd prefer 1-1 if we've got a draw, because then we get an away goal. But just keep doing what you're doing. We'll be all right. I am a little bit worried about the number of yellow cards we're collecting, particularly at the back, because City are traditionally a very good team going forward, although they're in a period of rebuilding similar to what both Barcelona and Bayern have been in the last few years. City are now hitting that point where the team that had been so successful for them is now old. It's actually a quite tempting future job for me, because it's going to be another one where there's going to be a rebuild that needs doing. Vermonti's done very well there, but less well with the pass. He did well to win the ball back, but you expect better passing-wise from Vermonti. He finds Gila this time, and Gila, we know how mazy a runner he is with the ball. He's got himself into a wide area, plays it back to Milaniemi. Berisic is there and scores his first goal of the season. That might be the first goal I've ever seen David Berisic score for us. That's I was writing him off at the start of the season. Now he's weighing in with very important goals in enormous games. Milaniemi with a lovely cross. It's fullback to fullback. Is there ever a more Kev goal than one fullback crossing to the other fullback to head in? It's been this way since way back when for me on Non-League to Legend. ever since the Lazarov days. Hendricks with the free kick, and that is a good save from the City goalkeeper, who's called Johnson. I wonder if there's an actual good English goalkeeper that's emerged. Gila with the in-swinging corner. Correa's there, as is Paredes on that far post. Navillo from range, and it goes just wide. People sometimes criticise me for not letting my youngsters get a run in the team. Navillo, as part of this sort of rejuvenated team without Mbappe, Navillo has played a lot of football for me. He is very much a part of my squad now. So there you go. I can get young players involved. Just don't ask Powell's because he doesn't like me anymore. Right, Navillo is going to come off though, and we're going to bring on Van der Veen, push Gila further forward, and Van der Veen, we know how good he can be, and we need to get Leonard off for Vitor because Leonard not able to play a full game because this is his first game back after about a month out injured. So let's get Renan Vitor in, who has started to look more and more dangerous as he gets more settled into life at Barcelona. We're going to make a final change. Camavinga, he just seems like the logical one to come on. He can come on for Hendricks and hopefully look to grab a goal against his former club. Although it is City who've got the corner and it's headed just over. It's a free header at that far post from a player who looked very, very tall. He was their left back, but he looked like he was towering over, presumably Banfalvi, marking him at that far post, which is, Banfalvi's not a small man. So that's quite impressive for a left back to be that size. And he's gone over to play right back now. How tall is this guy? Only 6 feet tall. Well, he obviously just looked big. He must have just been closer to me. Perspective, Kev. Right, good win. Well done. We're now going to play the league game offline and come back for the second leg of that semi-final against Real Madrid, where hopefully we book a spot in the final. Job done against Girona, 3-0 victory there. And now we get into this second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final against Real Madrid. And this is the team we go with. It's very similar to the one that played against Manchester City. I think the one difference might have been... No, Kraju was injured, wasn't he? So Bajic in goal. Back for Milanemi, Paredes, Banfalvi and Kraju. Camavinga at the base of the midfield. Hendricks and Gila behind Navillo, and then Correa and Leonard up front again. Very tempted to put Vitor up front for this game. There are teams interested in taking him on loan. Corinthians, is that where he came from? Corinthians interested in taking him back, but he ain't going anywhere. He wants to go on loan, so I need to give him some game time to convince him he doesn't need to, but he's just not quite scoring prolifically enough to justify playing him, sorry. Right, no complacency allowed. But then to be fair, neither is Leonard. Leonard, although he had that little run of form where he scored lots of goals across a couple of matches, he's still not scoring goals consistently the way he did before. And it's just been brought to my attention that his contract is up next summer. And although he no longer wants to leave, he's no longer showing up on the Dynamics page as unhappy. When I tried to renew his contract, it just won't discuss a new contract. So I think if I'm still at Barcelona this summer, which I haven't decided if I'm leaving it, nor at this stage of Bayern, I knew I was going. With Barcelona, I'm not sure. I'm still not convinced this team is ready to go and win everything without me the way Bayern were. So we'll see. But if I am still here this summer, I think it's almost certain that Leonard is going to be going because if he's not going to sign a new contract, we need to cash in on him while we still can rather than let him leave for free the following summer. Right, Paredes now playing the ball out to Kraju on the right-hand side, just back from injury. It's not slowed him down though, has it? Lovely burst of pace, pass into the path of Correa, and it goes just wide from him. I think for the future of Barcelona, a strike partnership of Correa and Vitor is fine. I think they'll both be excellent. I think probably long term they'll just go to a one striker system because everybody seems to. So having those two rotating as the two strikers, that was a lovely piece of play from Gila, by the way, who started our time at Barcelona as an attacking midfielder who could play a little bit in central midfield. And he just looked like a perfect central midfield player there, the way he took the ball off of their play without even thinking about it. I think for both club and country, he needs to learn to play in the same team as Navillo. And one option is them both playing wide, which we've done. But another option is this one, where Gila's the one who plays deep, Navillo plays further forward, and Gila's just turning into a complete midfield player. And he's having a very good game so far. He's got a corner here as well. It's going to be an in-swinger on his left foot, and Banfalvi's there to challenge the keeper. But the keeper just plucks it out of the sky, and now it's Real Madrid back up the other end with a throw to try and grab themselves a goal. It's not been cleared very far either. That's a weird choice of pass, but it's actually kept their move going. And then just Paredes just kicks it. Didn't even tackle him. He just cleared it while the other guy still had the ball. And then the cross comes in. The header is just over, and we get away with it for a little bit longer. Now, I don't know if away goals are a thing in the Copa del Rey. If Real Madrid score, I don't know if that puts them ahead in the tie or not. Correa with the header, but straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. He's not the ideal man we want getting onto the end of these corners. It would have been, I think, if that had been Banfalvi or Paredes getting a free header from a corner like that, we'd be 1-0 up. Talking of Banfalvi, plays it all the way back to Bajic, and we're going to take our time getting a move going again by the looks of it. Banfalvi plays it forward to Krajju, who's just going to run at defenders the way he always likes to. He gets tackled, but weirdly, we still have a highlight going on, and I'm not sure where this highlight's going. Banfalvi playing it all the way back to Bajic now, and after about 40 seconds of highlight, it's back with our keeper, Milaniemi now. Highlight could have started here, wherever it's going to end up. Milaniemi, he's got Krajju, he plays him in. Krajju with loads of room to pick a pass or go and win a penalty. He picks the pass, and Correa, I thought that had hit the post, but it's gone down as a corner, so it must have been a good save from the Real Madrid goalkeeper. Gila with another in-swinging corner, aiming for Correa again. Have I got my corner instructions set up wrong on the diamond? Because he should be aiming at our defenders. Milaniemi just easy tackle again. It must be very frustrating for the Real Madrid players coming down this right-hand side that we've got players who just seem to take the ball off them without even trying. I don't know who they've got playing on this right wing, but that's Gila, Paredes and Milaniemi have now just done an effortless tackle on what presumably is the same player. Who's not having a lot of joy, so they're trying to come down the other wing where they've got Krajju and Hendricks and Banfalvi. It's no easier over there, lads. Right, lots of space on the left again, and we've let them in. This isn't ideal, and a missed tackle from Paredes, and all of a sudden we looked a little bit vulnerable from a position where I'd just been talking about how good we were. They love to contradict me, these players. Right, half time. Yeah, we're still winning. Make sure we're still winning at the end. Easy peasy. That's a team talk for you. Right, they look like they've mixed a few things up at half-time, including in those wide areas where they weren't having a lot of joy. Rodrigo, I think, is about 4,000 years old, so I'm not surprised to see him coming off. He's been someone who's been around this team since back at the Tottenham days. I remember seeing him playing for Real Madrid. Milaniemi finds Leonard with the throw. Back to Milaniemi again. Who plays it into Navilo, Camavinga. I can't keep up. They're moving it so quickly. Milaniemi in pace. He's got so many options in the middle. Milaniemi does a Krajju and just stood there waiting to be tackled. He did get fouled in the end, and it's Hendricks with the chance from the penalty spot to put us 1-0 up on the night, 3-1 up on aggregate. And this is all but in the final if he scores, and he does. And it's Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 1 on the night. Real Madrid 1, Barcelona 3 on aggregate. Final, here we come. We've been a little bit sloppy in front of goal today. We've had 3 clear-cut chances, of which that is almost certainly one. I would say a penalty is quite clear-cut, but we haven't been great. So I think what I might do is switch to this system. I might change the whole front 3. Who have we got on the bench? Could we do a triple substitution and change the entire front 3? So Vitor can come on, Brakbien can come on, and Van der Veen can come on. And we'll just do a triple change. Gila can go out onto... He can go on that wing. I'd normally play him on the other one, but we'll stick him there. Swap those 2 over. And just try something a little bit different. Because we are... Although we're ahead, we're not looking anywhere near as good as we looked when we scored 5 past them in the league less than a month ago. Krajju now trying to come down the other wing because he still goes over to take throws over that side, which I keep meaning to tell him not to do. Real Madrid have just had a player sent off, and I don't even know what for. The tackle on Krajju, I guess, but it didn't seem that bad. Camavinga now finds Milaniemi, who has many options in the middle, one of which is Van der Veen, and he heads just over. Van der Veen, of course, coming on nice and fresh. Gila, again, showing his his versatility by being able to just go into... He can play in any one of like 4 positions for us. There's not really any excuse to not play him if he's fit, because he can play in any system in pretty much any attacking role. Okay, so we've got Kryju taking the throws on the left and Banfalvi taking them on the right. What is going on here? Milaniemi now charging into the area, and I thought he'd stuck that into the top corner. It's gone just wide. It doesn't really matter because we're through to the final anyway. Real Madrid just having a poor season. This isn't a very good Real Madrid side. I think they're currently outside of the Champions League spots in the league. They've now been knocked out of the Copa del Rey as well. We faced Villarreal in the final. I tell you what, Villarreal are having a season because they're our title rivals, and they're also the team that are going to be facing us in the final of the Cup. We're basically playing off for a double between us and Villarreal. We're the only 2 teams realistically in it in either of the 2 remaining competitions. Madrid have just jumped above Sevilla by the looks of it, but there certainly was a while where they were down in 5th place. Right, tomorrow's episode is going to be not very far in the future. We're going to do the second leg of Man City and Atletico in the league, and how our goals for the season are going to be a lot clearer after that one, because Atletico are the team currently back in 3rd place. And I'm still, in my head, not worrying about Villarreal, despite the fact they're not dropping off the way I expected them to. I'm still convinced it has to come. He just hasn't yet. But if we can beat Atletico and go, what would that be, like 11 points ahead of them? The league's all but won if we pretend Villarreal doesn't exist. Right, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.